Hey, what's up guys, HYDRA453 here and welcome back to another video on my channel. In today's video we're doing a quick review on the MSI clutch GM51. This is MSI's first major step into the whole mouse enthusiast space, and I'm pretty excited to go ahead and take a look at it. There's some really interesting innovation that's been made with this mouse, and I think it's certainly a good step in the right direction for MSI in regards to the whole mouse enthusiast space. But yeah, anyways, enough talking, let's go ahead and get on with the review. So there's actually two versions of this mouse that released. So there's a wired version and a wireless version. From what I can see, the only difference between the two is the weight and the sensor. So the wired version is able to go up to 8,000 hertz polling rate, and also weighs 75 grams. Whereas the wireless version, I don't think has the capability of running at 8,000 polling, 8,000 hertz polling rate. That makes sense, it being wireless, but it also weighs a bit more at 85 grams as well. Now, speaking about the whole weight of this mouse, I do think it's a bit interesting how they market this as being ultra lightweight. Given that it's 85 grams, it's certainly not as heavy as like a G502 or whatever. There's a lot of different mice out there that weigh quite a lot more than this does, but I wouldn't really say this fits the whole lightweight category. It's more just average, or like maybe a bit above average these days. And I think there could definitely be a bit more work to be done in regards to the weight for this mouse. It should definitely be a bit lower. If they can manage to drop the weight down to like, I don't know, 60 something grams or in the 70s maybe, I reckon that this could be certainly a top competitor. But yeah, let me go ahead and explain why I think that. Why is this mouse able to be a top competitor, and why is the weight the only thing holding it back? So like I was saying in the intro with the innovations that MSI have made with this mouse, I was mainly referring to this whole diamond shape pattern that I've got going on here on the sides of this mouse. So what this does is, aside from looking pretty cool with the lights behind it, it actually provides quite a good amount of grip when you hold it. So for example, I've got just a normal mouse here. This is a Death Adder V3, and it has just a normal flat side, or it's not flat, but there's no like special pattern or anything on there. And most people find that fine, but sometimes people get sweaty hands, or after playing for a long time, it can be a bit slippery holding the mouse. So that's when these little ridges or whatever, or these little diamond shaped things, really come in handy, because it just makes holding the mouse so much more comfortable. It's not like protruding so much that it's uncomfortable to hold and you can really feel it, but it's just enough to add a perfect amount of grip to the mouse. It also kind of saves the whole hassle from going out and buying lizard skins or some other branded grip tape, which they end up adding a bit more width to the mouse as well. And overall it's just a bit more annoying to have to go out and mod your mouse just to get a nice grip. So I think that's certainly a nice innovation. I think more companies should consider putting built-in grips on their mice. Oh yeah, and also if you're wondering how this thing charges, you just have this little dock here, which the mouse sits on. I'll give an example. This is little dots down here, and it just goes on like that. It's pretty slick. So one of the first things I noticed as well when taking this mouse out that I just fell in love with was the clicks. I haven't really felt clicks like this that are this crispy and nice feeling in a long time. These are just Omron switches. They don't really specify what type of Omron switches they are. They say that they're rated for 60 million clicks, which is great. It'd be nice to know if what type of switches they were in particular. I guess maybe they're they're custom ones or something like that, but I don't know. But they do sound really nice. They do sound really nice, and they feel really nice, and they're just overall good clicks. I actually have a Death Adder here. I've been using this as my main for a while now, and these have optical switches in them, and they work well, like on a technical level, obviously for reducing debounce and that sort of stuff and better latency. But the feeling of optical switches is just not nearly as nice as traditional switches like that you find in other mice. I'll go ahead and do a quick sound test as well to go ahead and show you what these switches sound like as well. It could just be because I've used optical switches for so long, but these just feel so nice to me. And the way they sound, the tactility of them, and the responsiveness, just really satisfying overall. Now, this shouldn't really need to be mentioned in mouse reviews these days, because it's kind of the standard now, but Yes, this does use pure PTFE mouse feet, which means they're not dyed or coated or whatever, like the ones you find on old mice that, you know, use black ones, which means you're going to get more of a smooth glide. Right, and now onto my favorite part about this mouse, and that is the shape of it. So now, just so you guys have some reference, I have 18 by 10 centimeter hands, which is not abnormally large or anything like that. It's just, you know, average or maybe a bit above average or something like that. But yeah, I've been using the DA-V3 for quite a while, and this is essentially a bit more of a narrower Death Adder V3 with more. Or maybe even a Death Adder V2 it's more like, actually I should say. I don't have one of those to compare it to, unfortunately, but it's got very flat out sides, and it's just more narrow. So if I go ahead and show this side by side, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Here's a top down angle, so you can kind of see from up top what the difference between these two mice is. Now I kind of use like a claw grip. I think this mouse is probably very good for claw grip. It is quite high, as in like the hump is a lot higher up than most other mice, but the way it feels when just claw gripping, I guess you could even palm it too if you have a bit smaller hands, but it just feels like you got a lot of control over your movements. The narrowness of this mouse is just perfect for my grip style and my hand size. I haven't actually tried a mouse like this in a long time that's like, you know, I've really enjoyed the shape as soon as I put my hand on it. The main reason I'm just comparing it with the DA-V3 is just because this mouse is, you know, it's the most similar shape I could find. That's the best one to compare it to. But yeah, the best way I can describe the shape for this mouse is it's more narrow than a Death Adder V3, and the hump is slightly higher, which makes it a bit more nicer for claw grip. This obviously is an ergonomic mouse as well, so it's not ambidextrous. I'm sure you could tell that when I did the shape comparison. So it does have, like the Death Adder, the left click or the left side is more raised up, whereas the right side is sloped down. But yeah, I mean, overall, I actually love all the features in this mouse. The clicks are amazing. I like the scroll wheel quite a lot as well. These diamond grip things on the side of the mouse are pretty good as well. It's a very nice idea. I really wish more companies would do that, to be honest. And of course, the shape is pretty amazing. The wireless technology for this mouse is fine. There's no problems in terms of, you know, latency or whatever. It's exactly the same as being wired, except it's more free feeling because you don't have cable drag. The clicks are amazing. The grip thing is pretty amazing. The scroll wheel is amazing. I really like the shape a lot. The only problem, like I mentioned before, is the weight. I just think 85 grams is a bit much, and I think they really shouldn't be calling it lightweight. I'm sure some people like the heavier sort of mice. I mean, this is not really even that heavy, to be honest, but it's just, you know, they could definitely have done a bit better with the weight. I really hope that MSI's next release, if it ends up being a refresh of this mouse, I really hope they manage to take the weight down quite a bit, because that would be pretty good. But yeah, that's my only gripe with this mouse. Everything else is pretty good. And you know, if you don't mind the weight, obviously, then I guess this is definitely a top contender. I think this and the Death Adder, if you happen to have similar sized hands to me, you use a similar grip style, these and the Death Adder V3 are very good options for you. But yeah, that's about it from me. Hope you guys enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos just like this one. And yeah, that's about it. Bye bye.